Fate has its own mysterious ways. Riam had no idea that the man she would find herself drawn to in this new city would turn out to be her boss. But today wasn't the day to entertain such thoughts. It was her first day on the job, and she wanted to keep her mind entirely on work. She collected a few important files and then stood in front of the mirror, taking deep breaths to boost her confidence. All the tales she had heard about office romances between bosses and secretaries started echoing in her mind. Characters she once thought of as reckless now seemed more like passionate souls. "I haven't done anything wrong," she whispered to herself, gazing into her own eyes. "There's nothing to feel guilty about." With that, she turned and headed toward her boss's office. "Sir, the bank team is here for the meeting," Riam called from the door, bringing Basil out of his thoughts. He glanced toward her. Only her face and a few strands of her dark hair were visible around the door, like she was unsure whether to enter or let the moment pass quietly. "Are you ready?" Basil finally asked. "Yes, sir. I've attended many such meetings before." "Don't worry," she replied confidently, her tone suggesting she could handle it all. "All right, take these files too," he said, pointing to the documents on the desk. Perhaps he was just curious to see her a little longer. Riam understood and walked in gracefully, leaving a pleasant scent in the room as she passed, her presence quietly filling the space soon. The meeting with the bank officials began. It was an intense session, lasting for hours. Basil and Riam worked together to present the company's potential and convince the bank that, with the right support, the company could bounce back. Basil assured them that not only would he repay the loan, but he'd also bring in profits to justify their trust. By the end of the meeting, they had done all they could. Whether the bank was convinced or not, only time and an email would tell. Back in his office, Basil turned to Riam. "What do you think? Will they approve it?" Riam smiled calmly. "I don't think we should worry too much about the outcome. We gave it our best. The rest is up to fate." "Do you think we did enough?" "Yes, sir. We handled it as best as anyone could." "I'm exhausted," he said, exhaling deeply. "I think I'll head home." As Basil gathered his things, Riam quickly tidied up the files. She was always efficient. She brought the last folder to his desk just as he was about to leave. Then, unexpectedly, Basil asked, "Will someone be coming to pick you up?" "No, sir. I live alone in this city," she replied. "How will you get home, I mean? If you'd like, I could drop you off." Riam hesitated, then accepted the offer with a polite nod. As they drove, they exchanged light conversation. The car soon reached Riam's apartment. She began to step out when Basil called her name. "Riam, I want to say something." She turned back, sensing the change in his tone. "Whatever happened between us at the club, I think it's best if we both forget it. We weren't ourselves that night." Riam paused, then smiled. "I understand. Honestly, I forgot about it already. Are you still holding on to it?" Her composed reply made Basil feel unexpectedly awkward. He thanked her and drove away, replaying their conversation in his mind, and wondering why he brought it up in the first place. There was a strange restlessness in him, partly guilt, partly confusion. When he reached home, his mood was off. He wanted to be a loyal husband, and also wanted space to breathe. A contradiction many struggle with but few admit. Basil was, after all, a typical man caught between desire and duty. At home, Arb, his wife, welcomed him warmly. She helped him out of his coat and sensed his somber mood. She gently asked if he wanted tea or coffee, then suggested he freshen up. AIRB managed everything with grace, household style, color combinations, and Basil's moods. They had been married for 2 years, but their bond went back to their university days. A love marriage. A love marriage. 2 simple words, carrying a whole world of meaning, attraction, respect, understanding, and responsibility. Often, with time, either love or marriage fades. But in their case, both still lived. Despite the chaos outside, their home remained a place of comfort. Arb stood by Basil with unwavering devotion, and Basil, in turn, was still drawn to her with admiration and love. That night too, their bond deepened with warmth, quiet affection, and soft whispers shared between husband and wife, not of passion for the sake of escape, but connection for the sake of healing. The next morning, both of them woke up late. It was a new day, but the same old worries loomed. Basil left for the office, and Arb too went to her temporary job at a real estate firm, a small role, but something that made her feel useful at the office. Basil was surprised to see Riam already there, more polished than ever. For a brief second, he caught himself staring, but quickly shook the thought off and walked to his cabin. Then came the moment they were all dreading. The email from the bank arrived. Its contents were simple and crushing. The bank had declined their request. They would not provide a loan to a company already deep in debt. This didn't just mean the company would shut down. It meant their home, their haven, might be taken away too. The same home Basil and Arb had built together, brick by brick, with dreams in every corner. A heavy silence filled the office, a silence thick with worry. And then, a sudden sound broke it, the sharp click of heels. Arb had arrived. Upon hearing the news, she had left work midday and come straight to Basil. She didn't care what anyone thought. She knew her husband needed someone, and she would be that someone. Even when Riam tried to stop her at the entrance, she walked past, not knowing she was his wife. She entered the room and went straight to Basil, wrapping her arms around him. In that moment, another silent explosion occurred, this time in Riam's heart. The man she had begun to admire, to read into, was already married. And with that, the story took a new turn.